Hello everyone. Let's continue with our discussion in the theories of essence, qi, and blood. So in the previous class, we have discussed essence, qi. Qi, in this theories, qi and blood are two of the most important aspects we're going to discuss, especially qi. Qi is one of the most important. That's why we spend more time in discussing qi. In the previous class, we discussed that the qi have different categories, or we clarified different qi in 4 categories: primordial qi, physical qi, pastoral qi, nutrition qi, and also the defensive qi. So the reason why we separate them into these 4 aspects, or we give them these 4 different titles, the reason is they actually the same qi, the same kind of qi, but if we want to discuss them more in details, if we want to understand more about the qi, we put them in groups. So it's very similar such as in South Africa. We are in South Africa, and if we want to know the person, or we want to understand the South Africans, people here in general, what's the personality, what's the percentage of the male, female in South Africa, and because of the country is quite big, so if we want to understand more, or if we want to know more about South Africa, there's a way to analyze. We separate the whole country into different provinces, such as Gauteng, Western Cape, or Free States. So we separate these provinces, and in each province, we're going to analyze what's the percentage of male, what's the percentage of female, what's the education levels. So in the group of people in South Africa, the whole group, we separate them into different provinces. In different provinces, then we study in each province individually. But after you study the people individually in the province, you also need to think, or you shouldn't forget that the people in this province also belong to the country. This is exactly the same situation when we discuss qi. We discuss different types of qi, 4 types of qi. We give you 4 different titles of qi. We discuss them in details, each of them. Primordial qi, or we call it 元气, pastoral qi, 中气, or nutrition qi, or defensive qi. So these are similar to the province. We study in each categories, but you should not forget that these categories belongs to qi. So they're actually the same. They're actually the same qi of the whole body. So all we discuss about is the qi in the body, but we put them separately. As the qi stored in the kidney, we call them primordial qi, or the qi from congenital essence. The qi stored in the chest and benefits from the middle jaw, from the spleen and stomach. Now we call them pastoral qi. The qi flows in the vessel. We call nutrition qi. the qi flows out of the vessels. We call them defensive qi. So these are different qi. And also when we talk about the source of qi, where does the qi come from? When you go back and read carefully, you will realize although we describe in different ways, but in general, the qi comes from either from congenital, from the parents, which is innate, or from acquired qi, which is from middle jiao, from the spleen and stomach. This is also why in acupuncture treatments or in Chinese medicine theories, we more focus on congenital aspects and acquired aspects. If you still remember in the history at the beginning when we discussed the four masters in Jin and Yuan dynasty, there's one master, his school we called tonified spleen school or tonified earth school. In his school, he focused on tonifying spleen function. From him, he believed that all diseases, the cause of all diseases is due to the weakness or the dysfunction of the spleen. Why he got this kind of ideas, or how come? This is because the spleen refers to acquired qi or essence. The acquired qi or essence is quite important in terms of the source of the qi, where the qi come from. No matter what we discuss or how many aspects we discuss the qi, the most essential or the most important is from middle jiao, from spleen, and this is we call acquired qi. So in our treatments, we always focus on congenital qi and acquired qi. Then it becomes the school or the principles in our treatments. In today's class, we're going to continue to discuss a new category, the blood. In its 5 aspects, essence, qi, blood, body fluid, mind, qi, and blood are the most important aspects. And we all, most of the time, or in many historic books, in Chinese medicine, in acupuncture, even in literature works, we always write qi and blood together. So whenever they mention the blood, they mention qi. Whenever they mention qi, they always mention blood. So they always say qi and blood, and then the ideas they want to discuss. So the reason why they put qi and blood together is because the qi and blood, the source of qi and blood are the same. And qi and blood, the definition of qi and blood is two definition of blood, especially for qi and blood. There's one definition, it's the one we show you on the slides. That's the one we're going to discuss now. And there's another definition for your reference. Qi and blood refers to blood and breathing and these, and also refers to emotion, the activities. So if someone is energetic in Chinese, we will say this person is full of qi and blood. So in this definition, qi and blood actually refers to an adjective. And in Chinese medicine, we more specifically define blood as the red liquid flowing in the blood vessels of the whole body. It's one of the vital substances of the human body. So from the definition, the first thing we're going to admit is the blood is a kind of red liquid. So the blood is in liquid form. The color of the blood is red. The second is where the blood flows. The blood flows in the vessels. So in a normal condition, in a physiology condition, the blood needs to flow in the vessel. If the blood flows out of the vessel, it will cause paralysis, it will cause pathogenic condition. And also, from the definition, we admit that the blood is a kind of substance that benefits the body. So this kind of substance, you have the function of as nutrition. You also have the function to nourish the body. What's important here is the flow of the blood. We're going to discuss while the flow of the blood is like in acupuncture theories, in Chinese medicine theories, we think that the circulation of the blood is like a circle. In a circle, it moves from here and there, but we describe it as there's no end and no start. This is a very similar description to meridian. When we discuss meridian in future, we will say that the flow of the meridian, the flow of qi and blood in the meridian has no end and no start because it's in one circle. So you can't actually distinguish where's the start, where's the end. So that's the characteristics of blood. Qi and blood are the two main substances that consist in our human body to make sure our human body function properly. That's the qi and blood. The second we're going to discuss is the sources of blood, where the blood comes from. We give it a few discussions here. The source of blood is transformed from nutrition substance derived from the food. This is actually described as tells us that the blood is come from the food and water which processed by the spleen, by the middle jaw. This theory is from 黄帝内经. We have mentioned quite a few times until now. Wherever we discuss blood, I gave you the translation there. The middle jaw receives qi and fluids, which are transformed into the red color, and this is called blood. So what's blood? It's the qi receives in middle jaw, and then it transforms into red color. Who transforms the blood in red color? It's the heart. So the heart promotes the generation or the development of blood. The heart create the blood. So where the blood comes from? The first is the transformed from the food and water. The second we didn't write down here is the nutrition qi. The nutrition qi is a component of the blood. It flows in the blood. So the blood consists of the liquid from blood and also the nutrition qi, which in the previous class we said it's nutrition qi is the one in the blood in charge of promoting or the flow, the moving. Something going to push blood to move. That's the nutrition qi. And nutrition qi, because it stay in the vessels. So it's a component of the blood. That's also the source of blood. The third is on essence, on the kidney essence. The kidney essence also from the marrows. The kidney essence and the marrows so apart from kidney essence, the last aspect from where the blood comes from is from the body fluid. The body fluid is also contributes to the source of the blood. This theory actually is from 黄帝内经. In 黄帝内经, it described as the qi, the qi coming from the middle jiao, and it become like humid or the fog. And this humid qi or the fog or the foggy-like qi go to the meridian, go to the cadastral, which is smaller meridian, and it change into red color, become the blood. So this description is from Lin Su. This is the second volume of 黄帝内经. So from this description, you can see the blood is also coming from the body fluid. So the summary, the blood is coming from the nutrition substance from the food, also from the nutrition qi, also from the body fluid and the essence. So these are the four aspects or the four sources of blood. Next, we're going to talk about which organs are close related to blood, especially for the development or the generation of blood. How to form the blood, which organs have closer relationship. The first one is the heart. So you can see the second line from the top, the heart. The heart is one of the most important organs, 脏 organs, responsible for the blood. When we discuss the 脏 organs, the heart, the function of the heart is the heart governs the blood and vessels, and also in 黄帝内经 we describe as the heart, the qi from the middle jiao travels to the heart change the qi into red color. Then the red color substance, we call them blood. So from this description, you will see actually the blood is created by the heart. That's why we said the heart is actually very close to the creation or the generation of the development of blood. The second is the lung. The lung in charge of the regulation of qi, the flow of qi. Qi also can create blood. The reason why is blood is from middle jiao, the qi. So the qi from middle jiao goes to the heart. The heart changes the qi into red color. You see, in this process, initially it's from the middle jiao. What's from middle jiao is the qi. Qi from middle jiao, it goes to the heart. The heart changes the color into red color. So from here, if you got plenty of qi from middle jiao, then you actually got extra or got sufficient qi to the heart. The heart can create blood. That's why we said that qi can help to create the blood, and qi is actually in charge by the lung. That's from the lungs function. That's in this aspect. That's why we said that lung also can help the generation of blood. The third is the spleen and stomach. Spleen and stomach is quite easy to understand because these is the middle jiao. The middle jiao is the area or the organs where the nutrition comes from the food, from the water. If someone got middle jiao, especially for the spleen and stomach got deficiency, which is the weak condition of spleen and stomach, then they might have the weak qi, or we call it qi deficiency. Qi deficiency will cause the blood deficiency because they don't have enough materials to generate into blood. This aspect also can be blend in yin and yang theories. Compared with qi and blood, qi is yang, blood is yin. If yang deficiency, which is the qi deficiency, it can be the spleen qi deficiency or stomach qi deficiency. Yang deficiency can cause yin deficiency. This is the interactions between yin and yang, qi and blood. And the reason behind these yin and yang theories, these yin and yang phenomena, is the qi from middle jiao. Deficiency of the middle jiao causes qi deficiency and results in blood deficiency. So the spleen and stomach is another aspect that's important for the relationship. The next one here, we didn't write on the slides, is the liver. The liver is important for the flow of the qi. When you go back to the liver function, you see the liver function in charge of the flow, and also the liver stores the blood. So it can the blood from the heart travel all over the world, all over the body, and then the extra blood stored in the liver. If in the body they don't have enough blood, the blood in the liver can benefit the blood in the body. So it's similar here. The liver and the blood vessels or meridians in the body, it's very similar. The relationship is very similar to the lake and rivers. So if it rains a lot in the nature, when it rains a lot, the water in the river become more and more water there. The floods, the water from the floods can go to the lake, is stored in the lake. And then if it is drought, it didn't rain for quite a while, then people can use the water from the lake to feed back to the river. That's the relationship between the liver and the blood in the body. The liver stores the blood. So the liver also have very close function with the blood. The kidney also related to the blood, but not that close, not as close as the other four. The relationship between the kidney and the blood, the kidney stores essence, and essence can create blood. The blood can come from essence. This theory also is similar to the previous discussion in our philosophy. It says the qi is from the essence, and the qi can be divided into yin and yang. Qi and blood here, they came from the same source. So the blood also comes from the essence. The flow of the blood is not very important, but you need to understand because it's the physiology in the body. The flow of the blood, we got two different circulation. This understanding from Huangdi Neijing, which is about 2,500 years ago, the understanding of the circulation of blood is very similar to the modern science. So in Huangdi Neijing, we already understand that the blood, we got two circulation. One is the body, the other one is from the lung. So firstly, from the body, the blood from the heart goes to the meridian, goes to the small cholesterol, and then to the body, to the organs, to over the body, to the other organs, and then it goes back to the heart. The qi, initial qi, is from the spleen and stomach. So for the big circulation, the qi from the stomach, from middle jiao, go to the heart. The heart move to the lung, and the lung move to the skin, to the vessels, and to all over the body, and eventually back to the heart. The other circulation there is the lung, the qi or the blood, also from the middle jiao, and goes to the heart. The heart changes the qi into red color, and this blood goes to the lung, and the lung go back to the heart directly, and this function helps the heart to promote the flow of the blood. So that's the two different circulations. The last aspect we're going to discuss is the function of the blood. Blood's got two different functions. First one is nourishment. Blood can nourish the whole body, and that's also the substance. That's the organ's function need. In order to get all the functions, all the organs function well, what we need for them, for the organs is the qi and blood. So that's the nutrition substance for all organs. And the second one is the material basis of mental activities. So in this, the first function for nourishment is quite easy to understand, as we can see from if someone's got pale face or pale tongue, then we can see it's blood deficiency. Or someone got the skin problem, pale skin, or very loose hair. These are the function from the blood. So the nourishment can nourish the skin, can nourish the hair, the body hair, the face, the tongue, all over the body. So quite obvious. The second is the material basis of mental activities. What does it mean from there? Or how do we know the blood is in charge, or the blood is responsible for the mental activities? The mental activities here refers to the thoughts or potential thoughts. For instance, we actually can see, or much easier to see in a disease condition. If someone got blood deficiency, especially heart blood deficiency or liver blood deficiency, the patient will always have palpitation, insomnia, or at night they dreams a lot. So these are the dysfunction of the mental activity or abnormal mental activities. And in this phenomenon, we think that's the blood deficiency. This is also very similar to the example we gave you previously with the fish and the water tank. If there's not enough water in the tank, the fish is going to jump. So the water in the tank can be the body fluids, or can be the heart, or the blood in the heart. That's because the blood is liquid. It's a liquid form. It's in, so it can refer to the body, to the liquid in the water tank. Though if there's not enough water in the tank, the fish is going to jump. The fish is similar to your thought. That's why if someone got blood deficiency, it's very similar to the tank. There's not enough blood for the fish to swim in. So the fish is going to jump, your thought is going to jump. That's why in this kind of problem, this kind of palpitation, this kind of insomnia, or someone dreams a lot at night, what we're going to do is we're going to benefit the blood. We're going to tonify the blood. And this patient, they always say we have pale tongue or pale face, or sometimes we have thin or weak pulse, which indicates the blood deficiency. So anything related to mental activities, you need to think about the blood. For mental activities, we mostly refer to the thoughts or emotions. So also if someone they goes, for instance, they have poor memories in Chinese herbal medicine treatments or in acupuncture treatments, how do we treat poor memories? We're going to use something to benefit the blood, improve the blood circulation, to tonify the blood and activate the circulation. So that's because of the function of blood, the mental activities is the blood's function, or the blood need to be responsible for the mental activities. Okay, so in order to get the blood to move, to function well, what's important here is activating and warming functions of qi. When we discussed qi in the previous video, we said the qi got the function to activate and warming. This one book that describes that the blood is not moving without qi. What does it mean is that the qi need to warm and need to activate the circulation. If the qi is not enough, so the body is cold, then the blood will slow down. It causes blood stagnation or blockage. This is very similar. If you put the body in a freezer, you can imagine how the circulation will be. Everything stops. Once everything stops, we cause stagnation or blockage. And in this condition, the blood becomes blood stasis. It will cause the other problems. So the first one is the activating and warming of function of qi. The second is the confining function of qi. The confining function, when we talked last time, we said the confining functions, the confining, the term confine is very, very similar to control. So these two, actually the first one we said the blood need to activate, the qi need to activate the blood, need to move the blood, need to help the blood to move. The second we said the qi need to control the blood. These are actually balanced. The one, the qi, the function of the qi is to move the blood. The second is to control the blood. What that means is the qi need to be responsible for the blood flow within the blood vessels. So why in our theories, in acupuncture theories or in Chinese medicine theories, why the blood does not go out of the body, doesn't move out of the body? Why it can stay in the vessels? We think that it's under the control of the qi. The qi help the blood stay in the blood vessels. That's also exactly why if someone got bleeding or the blood-related diseases, we will think about the qi. Sometimes we treat the qi to stop the blood. For example, sometimes in some conditions, especially in ladies, they got too much menstruation, the period, got too much blood there, and then the treatments. Sometimes in some conditions we use American ginseng for herbal medicine. We use American ginseng. The reason why we use American ginseng, when we discuss the herbal medicine in future, you will know the American ginseng doesn't help the blood. It helps to tonify the qi. The reason why here, the example we gave you is the lady is bleeding too much from the period. But the treatments, we use American ginseng, and then I told you the American ginseng is to tonify the qi. If someone got bleeding too much, and then in our treatment, we use something to tonify the qi, to improve the qi in the body. The reason why we can use this kind of treatment is because once the qi in the body improved, once the qi, the function of the qi coming back, when the qi can start the function of confining to control the blood, keep the blood in the body or in the vessels to stop the bleeding. So that's our treatments for this kind of bleeding, or sometimes for bleeding from stool. We also can use this kind of treatments to tonify the qi, to improve the qi in the body. So these are the two functions of the qi related to the blood. The third one is the vessels. The vessels need to be smooth, and there's there's nothing blocked in the vessels. The properties of the blood also will affect the flow and pathogens. Also the related 脏腑 organs. 脏腑 organs we described previously in the previous slides. The heart, the lung, the liver, and spleen. These are all related, closely related to the function of the movement of blood. Okay, today we will stop here, and from the next video we're going to discuss the body fluid and the mind.